Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Monday afternoon inspiration for the joy of creation and the magic of art, creativity, and play. How are you all? How is your universe? What have you been creating? And so, this Monday, usually morning inspiration, is really here to inspire you, to give you tools so that you can create what you would like to create. And I'm Bettina Madini, and I do this every week, usually. Today, I would love to talk about imagination or creation and what is the difference. We learn sort of that we need to imagine things, that we need to visualize things, and visualize it in great detail and feel it and um, see it. So, what is that? And is this creation or not? So, what is creation? Creation is really when we bring something into this world that wasn't there before. So, it could be a painting or a vacation, it could be a business. And imagination is a little bit different. It is when we imagine things. Have you ever had like where you imagined something and you had it all in your head and you went to the detail in your head and then you never really created it? Or then you were wondering, well, how come this is not coming together? How come I cannot create this? Well, you did already. You completed the whole thing in your head. So these are these little universes that we create, and how many of those do you have? And so that's not really creation because they never come into being. They never come into actualizing. They sort of stay in the ether. And some of you might even have some places that you go to when you are uncomfortable or when you want to check out. And this is exactly what this is creating. We are not present when we go into these imaginations. What is it that you would like to really create? So, do you really want to create it, or do you just pretend that you would like to create it? So, when we really want to bring things into the world, eventually we need to take action, right? We need to do something about it. If I desire to paint a painting like this one here behind me, the name is Healing the Oceans. I was like sort of diving into the greens, and my body wanted to wear green, and then the aqua tones. And so this painting wanted to be here today, Healing the Oceans, with all the flowers. They were actually way back then growing in my garden. So if I want to create a painting, well, I need to take a brush and take the paints and put them on canvas. Otherwise, it's like if I imagine it, oh yeah, it could be this and that, and then I could do this, and then I could do that, and what if, and what if, and what if? Well, the painting would never be here. So we need to take action. And if you are one of those like sort of daydreamers, it's like, ask yourself a question. Do I really want to create this? Or maybe not. And it's okay. Just acknowledge that you are daydreaming, and then don't beat yourself up if it doesn't show up. Wow, my nose is tickling. That is really funny. So I have no idea who is here. I cannot really see anything. It's strange, but true. And when we imagine things and we stay in this imaginary world, we will not be present with what is going on. So we can actually not change what is going on. We cannot create what is going on. It's like if you say it should be different, or it should, then this is sort of imagination. Like, okay, so if you want this to be different, what can you choose? And what action can you take that will create it? So if you desire to create something, it's rather than imagining it and keeping it in the imaginary world, like sort of almost like a fantasy or something, you could ask, what's it gonna take for this to show up? What can I choose? What choices can I make? What action can I take to create this that will bring this to fruition, that will help this to come into the world and come into existence? It's really also about being honest. There is something about, let's say I've been writing on a book for years now. It's like, so sometimes then I'm like, do I really want to finish the book? What is this? Do I really want this book to be out? Yes or no? And this is just checking in with myself. Am I in some sort of a like fantasy with the book that, like, have you ever had this, that you see everything, how you are maybe you are signing your book, you have these events and you are at the grand opening and all these people are there and they cheer you on and you give a speech and all that. So that this is all in the head. This is one of these like sort of tiny universes that we create, that where it is not real. And we tend to never take the actions, to never make the choices that would allow this to really show up. So without my book, I will never have a book signing. Without my book, like, nobody will ever read it if I don't finish it and bring it out into the world. So the question could really be, wow, is now the time to finish it, or am I procrastinating? What is this? And if I'm procrastinating, what is behind all of that? Am I avoiding it? um, what is this? Am I like, usually, like, I know for myself that I'm not sort of afraid of finishing something or something. I finalize a lot of things, and like the paintings and whatever other like wearables, I do this. So if something is not moving, it's like, okay, so what is this actually? What am I avoiding? What am I maybe imagining or daydreaming about? And what's it going to take for this to come to fruition? What's it going to take for me to wrap it up and not write the eternal book that gets to be like this thick and nobody ever will be able to read it, right? So ask questions. And what's it going to take for you to bring these projects into the world? And is now the time? What if now is the time for you to give you your voice and speak and paint and use your colors? The journey of color is an amazing journey, and it just never ends. I just tapped into yet another universe of colors that is, and it changes as we change, color preferences change or whatever. As far now as I'm talking, maybe when I talk about the palette of an artist, right? It's like the colors that you put on your palette, that you mix, that you put on the canvas. So this might change over time. And so what is it that you can create now without leaving it in the imaginary world? So if it is in this imaginary universe, what are you avoiding? What are you actually choosing with that? Are you pretending that you can do it, but you really think you cannot do it? So you have this pretense reality where you do everything that you want to do, but then you think you cannot do it, or somebody said you cannot do it, so you leave it there. Or are you trying to protect your creations? Like, what is it? And I'm just saying this here at random, as there's nobody asking me a question, so I'm just talking, right? So look into this, ask yourself some questions and find out what it is. If you go to the place of this should be different, like, says who, like, our mind has the tendency to go to the past where we will never find something new. This is where the history gets regurgitated, comes around again, when like things show up again, and it's the same fight, it's the same story. In order for us to create something different, we have to let go of the old stories. Also, these imaginary worlds, even when we talk about a past story, in a way it is an imaginary world because it's past, it's not now anymore. Everything around you has changed. You have reconfigured your universe. You have a totally different body with different cells, so we cannot say that it's the same. So the mind, though, tries to go back to the past and pull it up again, and then it should be this way, it should be that way. Or maybe, are you afraid of making mistakes? Could an infinite being ever make mistake? If the whole conditions, if all the variables that are now in your life are totally new, different, it's a whole different set of, energies and you, like, how could you possibly compare it with the past? So what is possible now? What can you create now? What do you desire to bring to the world? And so, if you truly wish that, you could ask, what action can I take here? What choices do I have? Who can I talk to? Who can I talk with? Where are the whatever organizations, groups, people, articles, resources that I require for my journey to create this? So, what are you choosing? Imagination or creation? Creation means you really bring it into the world. You feed it, you nurture it, you create a website, you create maybe a bank account for your business, or somebody really even said to me, it was sort of a wow moment from them when I talked about my art business. My business, I see my art, what I'm creating and the way I'm creating it, it's my business. It's a business. It's like, hey, I'm in the world and I am, selling my paintings and going out and being in galleries and, sort of doing marketing and everything. Hey, I'm in business. So this is my business. I think as soon as we come into the world, we sort of are in business, right? Which is like receiving and gifting. So this motion, the connection, the creation of it. All right, so I hope this is a contribution. I hope this helps in some ways, and contributes to your creations and to your studio, to your practice, to whatever you are doing, maybe even your yoga practice or whatever it is. And I see you soon. You can register for my Monday, usually morning, today afternoon inspiration on my website. And also I have an art program coming up, Bring the Pieces Together, which starts this coming Sunday. It's a month-long program. Where we meet and we paint together, we dive into color, and we also clear out blocks. It's like bits and pieces. What if we can, like, things that you have cut off of yourself, things that somebody said to you that were not good or whatever, you avoid them, you cut them off. Talents and gifts that you have and you are not even aware of. So what if we can tap into that and bring it back all together, assemble and, gather the seeds that you have planted and forgotten about. And you have the space where you can explore what you can create. I see you soon, I hope, somewhere, sometime, and have a wonderful week. Bye.